First thing on the test says simplify. Simplify means no fractions, everything reduced, and everything combined, right? So, if I ask you to simplify this, could you? What first? What? What's cotangent squared? Cosine squared x over sine squared x. What's secant squared? 1 over cosine squared x times sine of x. Now, what can I reduce? Cosine squared x. What else? One of the sines. So is my answer 1 over sine?
Yes.
No, because simplified means no fractions. So it's cosecant.
Yeah.
Okay? That's why I wanted to make sure I had one end up that way. I want you to realize, don't leave it. We good with simplifying?
Yep, you good.
So if it was like something like 1 over sine, let's just say it didn't change the secant, you just multiply by sine to cancel out the sine on the top and put the sine on top to make it sine.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
All right. Use addition or subtraction identities. All right, to find this value. Oh, sorry, that's wrong. That's wrong. Okay, doesn't this mean if I'm using addition or subtraction, I need two numbers that either add to 255 or subtract 255? Any clues?
Yeah.
That works. Could you have figured it out?
Yes.
Since it ends with 255, does it make sense that one of them has to be 45, either 45, 135, 225, or 315? Does that make sense to you? Okay. So you want to do cosine of 225 plus 30?
Yes.
Do you know that formula?
Yes.
What? Cosine 225.
Cosine 30 minus sine 225 sine 30 sine 30.
All right. Now, do you know what the cosine of 225 is?
Yes, that's right.
I wouldn't think you would have to draw a triangle for that because it's a 45, and we know sine and cosine of 45, don't we? But the question is it positive or negative?
225 or negative?
Negative. Is it in quadrant 3? And cosine is negative in quadrant 3? So negative radical 2 over 2. Right? What's the cosine of 30? Do you need a triangle for that? No? 1, 2, and radical 3? So cosine of 30 is what? Radical 3 over 2? Minus sine of 225? Do you know it's negative? And the sine of 30? So what is this? Over 4? Oh, negative, thank you. Plus radical 2 over 4?
In the line. Yeah.
I could. I don't have to, but yeah, I could.
You know,
You don't have to. You good with this? Everybody understands this. You want to know what I think?
I don't. I do. I do. Just a slip.
I think it's quieter with Griffin on.
Whatever it is.
Why? No, I'm just kidding.
Oh.
I'm just kidding. Stewie says use addition or subtraction. Right? What?
She was just wondering if you were recording.
I think so.
Last time I could hear myself like 30 different times. This time I haven't said a word.
Until now.
Griff, we're talking about you. There's no way he's gonna watch this.
He says he's going to make it perfect. Is that an identity?
It is.
It is. What is it?
Sine of x minus more.
Sine of x minus y? So is it the sine of negative 120?
It is. Yes.
What quadrant is that in?
2. Like negative 120.
3?
How did you get negative 120?
It's this minus this. The first one minus the second. Negative 120 is here. What's my reference angle? 60. Yes? Well, how far is it from negative 120 to 180?
Okay.
That's all I did. Can you give me a side?
Negative radical 3.
Negative radical 3, negative 1, and
2.
so what's the sine of negative 120?
Negative radical 3 over 2.
That's crazy.
Wait. Just one more time, please explain to me.
That was crazy, man.
It's sine x minus y.
Mm-hmm.
And in it, oh, I'm such an idiot. I thought,
Oh, you're
Okay.
good.
never mind. I for some reason thought that it was 120, and I was like, why would it not be 20 minus 140? But that's what we did. So yeah, it makes sense. Sorry.
Okay, you're fine. All right, still using addition and subtraction. All right,
Okay.
I want you to find this. This is all given. This is quadrant 4, sorry. This is this one is quadrant 2. What do I do first?
Find
Well,
one.
the other side's negative
So you
8.
gotta find the other side.
I've got to draw my triangles, don't I?
Oh, yeah. Yes, you can.
Okay, in quadrant 4, this is x. Isn't this negative 15 and this 17? What's my other side? Positive or negative? Positive. Y is in quadrant 2. Cosine is negative 40 over 41, right?
Yes.
What's the other side?
I'll do mine.
Right? What's the formula for tangent of x plus y?
10x plus 10y.
What's tan x?
Negative 15 over 8. Plus,
What's tan y?
9 over 41.
40,
I mean, 9 over negative 40, negative 9
negative
over 40.
9 over 40.
Over 1 minus
Uh,
tan x.
1 plus,
Oh, 1,
isn't it?
No, it's 1 minus.
it's
Oh.
minus 9 over 40, right?
Yeah, that's actually right. Great.
Is that right?
Let's say 320 minus 105.
135. Is that right? I haven't checked. Where is it? It's not on the charger, is it?
No.
Somebody already checked it.
That's right.
Is that right? Everybody get that? Do we agree?
Yeah, I didn't get
You didn't get that?
I put it wrong.
Who got that? Any of you?
Somehow I got negative 96 over 65.
Negative 15 over 8. Minus 7. That's a minus on bottom.
Oh, I put
No
You do the
plus.
recordings every day.
Huh?
You do the recordings every day.
Huh?
Can you?
It's hard because, like, when I save this next hour, I can't use my computer for 15 minutes because it takes that long to save it. So I can't record every hour because I can't
Record
record
like one of the hours and put it on there so I can look at it
every day.
every day. Unless it's a super easy day, then don't.
We'll see. Yeah.
Didn't Miss Schuler do that?
I don't think she did.
Well, we watched some other girl teach some of the time.
But it's not this.
All right. We good? For the next thing we do, I'm going to say the information, but I'm going to write it to the side because I'm going to have to scroll the board and I want it where you can keep it, where you can see it. Is that right? Have you noticed how many negatives I've given you or tried to ask about negatives every time? That would be because that's one of the most common mistakes on this test is to lose a negative. So I'm trying to say it a bunch today, so when you take the test, you'll remember. Check negatives, check negatives, check negatives. All right? All right, I'm going to tell you that the sine of theta is negative 4/5. And we are in quadrant 3. Can I draw this triangle? Can you draw this triangle?
Yes.
If I'm in quadrant 3, that means I'm here. This is theta, this is negative 4, this is 5. What is my last side?
3.
Everybody agree it's negative? All right. This is what we're using. First thing I want to find is the sine of 2 theta. Do you know the formula? Do you? What is it?
2 sine x cosine x.
So it's 2 times what?
Sine x.
Which is?
Negative 4 over 5.
Negative 4/5 times what?
Negative 3/5.
Negative 3/5. Isn't this? I think it's 24 over 25,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
That's sine of 2 theta.
That's it.
Yes. What is the cosine of 2 theta?
Cosine squared x minus sine squared x.
Which is negative 3/5 squared minus negative 4/5 squared. What is that? Negative 7 over 25. Right? What is the tangent of 2 theta?
2 tan x over 1 minus tan squared x.
Okay, what's tan x?
What triangle am I looking at? Oh, it's negative. It's 4/3.
2 times 4/3 over 1 minus 4/3 squared, right?
Which is 24.
No. Thank you. Please don't do that. What you're doing. Are we good?
Yes.
Can we keep going? Good. What is the sine of theta over 2? Same triangle. Same information.
Plus or minus the square root of 1 minus cosine of x over 2.
1 minus was cosine. Negative what? So plus 3/5 over what? 2. Is that right?
Yes.
So what is this?
Simplify, right?
Uh-huh. Plus or minus, I think it's 8/5 over 2.
Which is 8 over 8, which is 2/4.
It's 2 over radical 5, which is, my question is, are you with me?
Where did you get 2 over radical? You got
Well, because 8/5 simplifies to 4/5. 8/5 over 2 is 4/5.
Yeah.
Square root of 4 is 2.
I see.
My question is it positive or negative?
It is
Okay, what quadrant is this in?
3.
3.
Students take classes.
What's half of 3? Don't I have half the angle? So what's half of 3?
1.5.
Is that more than quadrant 1? Yes, 1.5, which means it's in quadrant 2.
How did you get the 1.5 is greater than quadrant 1?
Well, isn't 1.5 greater than 1?
Oh, okay, we were going off that. I thought you were going off of like pi or something.
No, just that. Okay.
Hold up, I'm
So
sorry.
I'm gonna finish my sentence. So I'm in quadrant 2, so it should be positive, right? Now, what's your question?
I'm sorry, how did you get quadrant 2 again?
Took 3 divided by 2. Aren't I in quadrant 3?
Yes.
And I wanted half of my
Oh, I
angle,
see.
right?
But if sine was in quadrant 3, it'd be negative.
Okay, 3 divided by 2 is
1.5,
Yeah.
which can't be in quadrant 1, it must be in quadrant 2, because it's more than 1. How do I find cosine of theta over 2?
1 plus cosine of x over 2.
Under the radical, right? 1 plus negative 3/5 over 2. Right?
Yes.
And isn't that
2/5,
over 2?
which is 2/10, which is 1/5.
1/5, which
1/5.
is 1 over radical 5?
Square root of 5 over 5.
Negative? Right. And we're cosine. Negative? Okay. What is tangent of theta over 2?
Sine of x over 1 plus cosine of x.
Sine of x is negative 4/5 over 1 plus negative 3/5. Isn't that negative 4/5 over
Negative, or 2/5.
2/5? Isn't that,
Negative 20 over 15,
I think it's negative 2,
which is
which is sine over cosine?
How did I do that wrong? 4 over 5 times 5 divided by 4 over 2.
Don't your fives
20
cancel?
over 10. That's better.
Yeah.
20 over 10.
We good with that? How are we?
So far, tell me.
Oh, I'm acing it. I'm doing good.
I'm good on this.
This is the end of what we take tomorrow.
It's negative 2 the answer.
Yes?
No, isn't there still a
Yes.
Are you gonna hold my wallet?
Oh, what?
I was gonna say, are you gonna hold my wallet during the class?
Why?
Because this is like the hardest chapter I think we've had all year.
So why don't you
You
go
guys
to the wallet?
Do you actually agree with that? Kaylin, what do you think?
It's easy. What about like one of the very first ones? Korean
Is this considered pre-calc and the other stuff we're doing was trig?
No, this is trig.
What was the stuff with the circle and the triangle?
This is trig. As long as we're doing sine cosine, we're still in trig. That's what it is. I don't know.
Probably was.
All right. This is my identity. I have 5 minutes. So I will tell you, in order to do this one, we have to factor a cube. You do not have to be able to factor a cube on the test. So I'm going to help you factor it. But I wanted you to see what this problem did. All right? On the left, this factors into sine x minus cosine of x over sine squared x plus sine x cosine x plus cosine squared x all over sine x minus cosine of x.
We can take out this sine x.
Do you see what will reduce? So that's the first thing I'm going to do. Does anybody see an identity? Is 1. So I have 1 plus sine x cosine x. What? Multiply what by 2?
The whole thing. No, just.
Oh, wait.
I know what you're thinking. I need a 2 in front of here. Do I also need a 1/2?
Good.
So can I do this? 1/2 times 2. Isn't that just 1?
Yeah.
See it?
Yeah.
Let me give a little more space here. Okay. I had a 1.
Yep.
I multiplied by 1/2 times 2 over 1. Isn't this just 1?
Yes.
So I'm allowed to do that.
Plus 1 is 2.
What is this? Isn't that what I need?
Yes.
How did
So
that
do
get
I
rid of the
have
cosine?
1 plus what?
How did that get rid of the cosine?
Because this 2 sine x cosine x is sine 2x. Isn't it? So do I have 1 plus 1/2 sine 2x? That was a hard one.
That was,
Yeah.
I'm still confused.
Okay, I understand.
So wait,
Why did you multiply by 1/2 into?
Because I had to get this sine x cosine x to sine 2x, I had to have a 2 in front of it.
so wait, just,
I see.
So the only way I'm going to get a 2 in front of it is to put a 1/2 there also.
so does 2 sine x equal sine 10x?
No?
And plus, how do you get sine 10x?
Because look at your identities. You obviously don't know them yet.
Yeah, I don't understand why wouldn't it just be just regular science? Like if you continue to simplify, wouldn't it just be
No?
just science?
No.
Wow.
How would it be sine of x?
So it's just 1/2 of science.
So you're telling me that if I multiply the sine of an angle by a number, I can just, like, 2 times sine of 30 is the same thing as sine of 60.
No.
That's what you're telling me.
Oh, okay, I didn't get that.
I used to have a saying, by the way, that if you have a number out here and you multiply it by your angle, you just killed a puppy.
I'd rather
And you
kill
know
a
what, when
cat.
we started that,